Ode, Tatirente, Kasura. Cousin Sravasti, and Cameron Buchenta. Oh, and Geloma, Kindy, Combanera. And it Samanam de Tirochis, Nazol Sonsoa. Oh, Nema Shigaba Chazantiri, and Samanam de Tirosity, Tening Azukasura. Chitan Samanam de the Peck Chambura. Taina, and the Remember she told the young man, and Samanam de Kabudoa, Kokabudua. No thing does not share against Shesser. Those Samation the Chamba de Chita, the return to the Lurit and the Chamba manner, those Kokasi order. And Loza in Joshua, Nambulam Rinda, and the Tutu, Yabu Changelos of Mabuchir, and Samekot and the Tayomara. Did you do Kokabuchi some Jonah? And I treated Nima Lucelin, Tazan and Samanam de Tiri, Lusumba Chazan Sara. Oh, did you do that the Kokabude? And the Koka will do Shedu Kabudoa. That the condition Rosa Dagachi or the Pachu de Kandeku with sometimes those Kalakabudoa. Shemochana Sembangazo. Diana Chema Samutandi Chitam make Chambure. Number to Nazushian could share a single combure. Then be the shadow was still combato. Kamuda Kanga. Donation which is share a city. Oh, that is she and Madon de Mare some such chance. Oh, Dico Kona, Kosuchita, Manuch Sama Komatumna, Losa Junior Sama Shematumna. Taco Chikajin Chikona Dira, Echema Yang Jata, and the Maru Marcoda. Nanzo Samata de Loma Butaiba, Tambuchi Yambata Kanga Kugumedua, Yachi Yanji in the city, Parusene of Signe. Netting the Congere Chagdua, Game the Kankona, Kotup Station, Yagre, some gentlemen in the Samal Tambulu, Tambu de Shah, Tosti, teacher would have said, Munation, Liu Tambu de Miel share, never the share can get a shore. Diana Liu Tambu de Tos, Aletanda, Shah, Louis, but the Ma, share Chabins, or this should.
So the other day, the abbess of Sravasti, Abbey, asked if I could teach the Pramanavarttika, the Dharmakirti's, what do they say, compendium on valid cognition. At first, then I thought about this and thought, well, it's a very important text to study, but it's difficult to understand. You have to have certain kind of training beforehand in logic and epistemology, and also so that then also you need the translator has to have that kind of background as well. Joshua had translated the Aryadeva's 400 verses, and he has a background in the Lamrim, the Stage of the Path teachings, but he hasn't really studied these teachings of the Pramanavarttika. So then, I don't know, it just seems like it's too difficult. So I said at first, no, that doesn't sound like a good idea. But then I thought about it, and it's really, it takes a lot of, what do you say, study before to really understand it. But still, even even it's such an important area of study. We studied this many years, and you couldn't just hear it once. You have to hear it many times, receive teachings on it many times in order to understand. And so maybe it's not so bad, I thought, that people don't have to understand, completely, right from the beginning. It takes, you have to return to it many times. If the translator makes a few, makes mistakes and has difficulty and everybody doesn't exactly understand, that's okay, because at least we're trying to understand this text, and then we can come back to it again and again in the future. Also, just as an aside, I forgot to mention, Gemma said it's hard to teach, actually, trying to understand how to teach this. There aren't too many people who explain it nowadays, and I explained it. I gave teachings on this down in Mungud at Losaling College there, and that's one way. And then now we have a different audience. I have to think, how can I teach this to this audience? But I think just that we try to understand and explain as best as we can, then it will be something helpful. So then I've decided then to teach on the Pramanavarttika.
Oh yeah,
actually, we have to start with chapter 1, but that has it's a difficult chapter. Well, it's not that it's difficult. It's just we have chapter 2 more available, so we're starting with chapter 2 then.
Tarvada Tamje Kimbada, Tetravel Lamgin Namshat Shayora, Zanko Nelly Yawachang, Janko Girichiora, Tainang as a Nelly, Lelatim Ashe, and a Kalakati Mayandona.
The first chapter really is for developing the lines of an understanding of the lines of reasoning and the logic that makes it possible for then the reader or the listener to understand what comes in chapter 2. That's really the purpose of the first chapter, and then chapter 2 presents how to reach to omniscience and liberation and omniscience. So that's the way the book is designed. But well, I don't know exactly how it will work out, but we're going to start with chapter 2.
Oh yeah. Dobetra namse subject as Congo, Kundo Sambo, Sita, Kune, Trolla Chasalo. Oh, yeah. Tanga to de Carsore. Samanam de Geshe the Carasana. Oh, repair Nangachida, Nambachan, repair Nangasigua, repair Nangatelia, Samal Chango Resongoa, Nambaina, Chanju Sambena Kanga. Ribene ngagale changba machana ane number thamje kimbeshi sangje sende ti yonga yo mare songdo ne ribene ngadile nenga kanga sangi wara so tezo sangmole changye denga zo sangje yesde ribene kangale changba chene ya shira pere chen kyoane shira pene ane ya sangje thamje kimbas yorgirmado chikyangjajile chane ane chi yo mara ti ne ribene ngagal changure songgo wara pichilodale.
In general, for a Buddhist, in particular for bodhisattvas, then there's 5 areas of knowledge that these have to be studied and practiced in their entirety. You can't. That's the only way that one can then reach to liberation and omniscience, and through constantly training in these 5 areas of knowledge. If you're just training in one or several, omniscient, liberation and omniscience just won't happen.
Oh yeah. Tide ko tambudliya karsore. Tarik basigdo. Jiten kam kawa yina ko so ki miramne sushangege Geshe shora. Dendra mendra chik milia chik she Geshe shora. Oh, di Geshe de ko ngemane ma she yongshabe chiora. Di chikin rodan da kanga de yaboji hakona. Ene mingama tu karishedo kanga de yaboji ko nenga yobato shen tokra. Di inde ko tangbodeliya. Sigleya jiden kam kamachena delia ti lungba di keyakin deba mango tada sigde telekawa sigre ti kare pechu sigore ti abu shengure sigora sigle triba pangbe chedo taribale chance tangbodeliya o di kechingura ngara taribale majamba ina ane kubana shi chagra amaga yi malab keche malamna tonduna shi chando khatra tu mara ti indin jiden kam dinalia shiri yaga minge mata zo kande rishung yaga karine kotuwe yo mara ha kotu marwa ti inde pe tarik bade kechin buchela kure songudwa tichila.
The first area then is grammar, usually translated as grammar. It has a wider meaning than that. This is to understand how, as human beings, whatever type of human being we are, we have certain ways of conversing. And so then we have to understand how the language is used wherever we go. We have to learn the language and see how it's used, and then we can communicate and also and understand the history of the ideas of whatever culture, and so then if we don't have this ability, then it will just become like what is it? Like somebody who's mute. I think you have to say there's no way of expressing yourself, and so this is an important area of study, wherever you, whatever region of the world you go to.
Oh yeah, ko jiten kam kare yena ya ke meda yora o di yudu sa ko minge ma to zoge samlutan de yende mangbuchi ko tina de shashore shen shatu yo mara ke jenale shashe yora o di yudu sa ko ke de yabu malamna ene ngema to zoge kale kyamni yende ro kare rawne to chema to ha ko emel shora ti indi tikke shambuche ko sigla truba bambe sidu tari balulo so
So whatever area, we can say, whatever area of the universe we end up in, the people from that area have left a legacy in language of their ideas, expression of their ideas. And so if we then can access that, then we'll know how to communicate with the people of that region, whatever it might be, and so that's why this area of study is so important.
Oh yeah, the Indian Azukasore, Lumbakarana Sosu Keiti, Pe Keshambuchi, Tambunine Cookie, Troop de Yomara, Tambunine mid troop do some cookie at the Yomara, and the cooper, cook the Reshe, and the Calicali, Gendecha, Abba, Macarina, Mother Padakarasichi, Lavche, Calicaliche, and Nechi, you tell say, Calamambu Jamsera. Oh, the India Coti, Labuchetas, using Azut and the Lapchos or the Tindake Mara, the India Tico, Carina, Keshambuche.
And for this reason, and in the beginning of our lives, we really can't express ourselves very well at all, and we spend a good part of our energy trying to understand how to communicate and how to speak and the proper ways of speaking, and so it's a large part of our energy goes towards that.
The Yangas Pugation going to young Epugati, Geshe, Solution Sheshora, the Yomara. Tamasing is Shendashi, Chilaguda, Tikaledo, Chesa Kopasha, Geshem, but it and how good.
For instance, you can understand how important it is just by the fact that I don't know English. If I knew English, I could just explain these things to you very easily. And on the other hand, also, you don't know Tibetan, so if you knew Tibetan, I could just explain to you easily in Tibetan. So instead of that, what we have to do is go through somebody else. I have to explain it to the translator. The translator has to then express it to you. So you can see then how important the language is.
Oh yeah. Karate me share Shabachiyona, shares someone Dembe being a Bayomara. Geshe share yore, Geshe yore, Karachevne, Chigachi, Labia yorde. They turned out the one day in my day, somebody was so Tajeje. No could this Tandakare, Yinko, Tandakardo. The Mango Tandakardo, social taxation, social Hako to Escora. Social Hakon, oh, Tire, Timarese, set to Escora. Tin any Yundaya page. Dressing-gra. The men and me, she says, oh, Kosha, the embrace some tenor, so shank Yomara. A man said the other member is and there's so shank Yomara. Guardian cigarette, the guardian cigarette, Chebache Sungora, Shebatil, Rebet Chebache. Kia Comoyan is Musum Latune, Musum dan Gegdom and Dupan and Teteche, and a teacher. The doesn't call Carsora. Shebet and Datelia. Started with a shebet and the midi shebet and that Norma no de Sosoga Hako, Sosoga Namjuge, Tajuche to it and Dalia, Semeric Balosum Guara, Semeric Badi, Tonda Temaiba, Jeto Gre, Yayana, Tonla Tribapane, Tonla non Richi Labtona Tima Respa, member Shetogre, Nora de Panora Marin, the Mares, Sarchetogura, the Mares Kungere. Young dog, what did the young dog when they race, when they to the timber race, I was a shet gura. Just until somebody was near it, or did somebody was Changuet. Yeah.
The next area of study then is reasoning and logic. And this is important because of if somebody communicates to you a certain idea or you're in a conversation, you have to have the ability yourself to discriminate if this, to analyze, I guess we say, and discriminate whether this is, correct or incorrect, or there's some mistake being made or not being made. And you have to come to this understanding on your own. You can't be depending, just without the ability to discriminate in this way, you can't just go with what people say. And if they say, oh, this is the way things are, you can just go, oh, that's the way things are. And if they say, no, they're not like this, then you have to go, oh, okay, they're not like this. Otherwise, there's no way of discriminating on your own how things are. So it's very important to have this training in logic and reasoning to be able to discriminate what the meaning really. It's just like what is the actual meaning and what is not the actual meaning.
Mo indi ko tarik bata no chamar pa nibuti ya bo che ko neba yina. Ane ngeme mezu ko shesha bate yaga to lecture karina tineto gura. Etande mezuge ngeme to sulete soso yarje tanto gura. Soso samlatan soso tichane mi yarje ndwege. samlutsedi shirabya per ndwege yarje ndwege oyora. Di takje maje shashana nyemedi sheba tagra shasana soso yarje ndwege yomara. Di tini pe soso yarje ndwege ne mishandar pallavena tarik bata samaribe kon ko lavena pe pendo shimyora. Tarik malone meka kukwana shichagra. Samaribe mena kareshebna mishebde mado soso namjibtone yarje ndwege me shagra. Otindi kotini vacation bude.
If you then take these two areas of knowledge together, grammar and logic, shall we say, then it's very important for us then to be able to understand how, former people express themselves and understand their meaning, and then being able to distinguish what they say is correct or incorrect, and then otherwise we just sort of are more like sort of like, I don't know what the word is, mute and a dumb and mute person. So we have to then, for our own understanding, have this training in logic and grammar, and also for our ability to then express ourselves and explain to others ideas. That's essential to have this knowledge of grammar and logic.
No, yeah. That on the whole, tending the social yabushing sona, and the Milipa Shesheko, Pendo Chambuchatura, Gagatolia, Momba Mavacheture, Namju Tone, Soso, some Tantum Geso to Biora, then the co champagne chavala, Nambi Chusico, Chusadico, champagne so, Shangy Kange, Mishibe Mombasea, Tungesea, Shanla Pemba to be Shirab Janawaya Pay, Telechosiora, or the end of Tinder Nijikone, Shanla Pemba, Mishibe Mombasea, and then Shanlia Pendo, Gagatola Kange Meva. Namju Tony Yape, what Pendo took to which isn't the catch about this, Church but number to local somewhere. Yeah.
It's the purpose of our practice of the Buddhist teachings to be able to be of benefit to others. So if we have this training in grammar and logic, then we can help others to clear away their ignorance, and to help them also to have the ability to distinguish. Distinguish here to increase it. So what we're saying is to increase their discriminating wisdom, and then this way you're helping them to be free of the suffering that they undergo because of their ignorance.
No, yeah. Today, Shanla nega panda what shall we say, Danda ko panta way, Jandala, Sungura, and it's sorry about local Rachera. Shanla Kogo Pambechito, Shanla Yasaya Kogure, Tonya Kogure, Dolo Kogure, Desa Kogure, and a person Ronandrea Kogure, Nasuna Man Kogure, Kangakora, and Shanla Kogo Pambechito, sorry about lots of cheese Sungura, Kamba Soshina, Jala Soshina, Shingatap Shinakana. Legacy some milk Yeshe, Chisel Yeshe, Jaco Shangi Coco de Kane, Shanla de Wayura, Kane Sendora, Sayatunya Koya Desa, Kamiseo Cone, Cotewa Togiora, Shella Coco Pambesido, sorry for the laws of
The next area of study then is what sometimes, well, I don't know, this is translated as crafts really, and it means I don't know, maybe sometimes art, people translate it that way, but it means being able to make food and houses and you know, clothes, whatever it is that people need, then material needs, and being able to then eliminate the difficulty of not having these material needs, then one has to become skilled in what we can say, skilled in arts, maybe is okay.
No, yeah. That didn't go Shenda, Sobu Debo Yonhena, two my imbetua, Tondalia, and it's sorry, but man love some good one. A man love in a me, Sobutanda there to Kure, do my imbetua in a man and Trava Soto Yora, or Tidico, Nigger Milia Panto at the sorry, but a sorry, but Locure some good.
The next area of study then is medicine. So these two are related, and they're in the sense that you're doing something that's helpful in the short run. With medicine, you're eliminating people's discomfort from illness and being able to help them to avoid a premature death. So becoming skilled in medicine goes along with this idea of knowledge of the arts. And you can also sort of, knowledge of the arts also includes how to make medicine, for instance. So anyway, these two come together and sort of that are, what do you say, helpful in the short run or something like that.
Yeah, that's also simply do. So simply do Jambada Sewa and then Medaba se Tombani said, or Tindi Samrutanje. So simply do it on Dalia, non do reporters agora. So simply do so, and so Shanlet Sawamaba. Shan simply do like a panto chitogura, or the Indico simply so simply doing Landorginet, Samatam Geshe, Tondalia, Lando, Landuribala laws, choose it, Jamba than Yichi, Jamba, Tombani set.
The final area then is Buddhist knowledge, which would be, I mean, knowledge of Buddhism, you could say, maybe better. And that, for the purpose of then creating, what do you say, generating in our own minds, the minds of others, the such qualities as love, compassion, understanding of emptiness, impermanent, and an understanding of impermanence, and so forth. All these, basically, what what we need to adopt and what we need to discard. If we, those knowledge, creating and, what do you say, developing the knowledge of what it is that we have to adopt and what it is that we have to discard. That's this area of knowledge, the knowledge of the Buddhist teachings.
Oh, Nangbe tao na shi chigine ro. Oh, chikar ribene nga kangalia, solo lokuina, kanga lokuina. Milia chikangechi. Kangechi me, kange me sune. Koege tun debana shi ko tewa toye tondale loko kudwa. Chajin shejire de wara. Odi ko kulungi chokbaina. Chanju samba de kangalia. Oh, nga champagne chekure, shen kange se dure. Nge lega de chena ko shen lia tunge de mevre. Ko tewa de topgudu samje. Lobena ne sorry bada sorry wa kari lobena ko chöjo gwara. Tingsanga de chösi de inji mi de chö member so de chi. Di member chi tawa se mi tum che te chi samluta de ne chö chi bi so de samko de mara. Ti che de ko de samluta ne semli churchu ta ngone lega to su che to dal pa sem shu ke to dal ya samluta ge wara ma ti chi bu che ke mara. Ti de ko che se chanju se be che ba se de Jimba Sudin Shaba Samde se odi Jizolia ko Lega Kari na ko Shengi Kange se chida Dodin Tube chi Lega Chimado Yomara. Tindu ko Kulung Simba and Chanju Simba Sotena Tangi Chanju Simba Yo Shoguri Shinga Tangi Chanju Simba Yo Shogura Kanganali Chanju Simba Chanju Simba Nyamli Chinge Nangbe Chu Chinge Chu Namda Chinge Oti Yo Shogura. Odi me Kulung Majona ko Trabujina ko Zudena Chu Namda Deki Yomara. Odi Duti Yangazu. Oh, yeah.
To take a Buddhist perspective then on these 5 areas of knowledge is that these are all really for eliminating people's difficulties, problems, like difficult hardship, and for providing what others need. And so all the tendency is to think that the actual practice of Buddhism then is in the final one where we're talking about Buddhist knowledge. But actually, Buddhist knowledge is kind of, it's really the motivating factor that then if you don't practice the other 4, then you're not doing Buddhist practice. So it's just so we have to think when we say the word dharma, all 4 of these are dharma, and so then from the Bodhisattva's perspective, it's what the Bodhisattva, what a Bodhisattva is doing is motivating his or herself to then eliminate the difficulties of others and to provide them what they need or want.
Oh yeah, that and that's some sambu kunelane rigbe ne karelo lobe ina ko ene shembenge chawal jurkres tere.
So then, as a motivation for listening to these teachings, then you think that I will practice these 5 areas of knowledge, and with a, what do you say, with a desire to practice these 5 areas of knowledge, then I will listen to these teachings.
Oh yeah. Tanganzo de liuniba de karishege senarwa. Oh, Lobin Chonglange chama kundus in Gajara. Oh, chama kundus jane. Di chujushi ora. Chujushi. Chigani chuju ora. Chuju de tanda de ko banje chikshe ya telen do de chikshe. Chama kunduji chuju. Di chikbu tanda de Lobin chuju tabwa ke liuniba kapsete. Geshe bachi shevi ora. Kichi lata.
What is the what is the area, what do you say, what is the topic, and maybe you say, what is the topic of this teaching then on, in the second chapter of the Pramanavarttika? It's, well, Dharmakirti is taking Dighnaga's, we call it expression of worship in the beginning of his Pramana Samuccaya, which is compendium of valid cognition. He's taking that first two lines and then expressing, analyzing what Dignaga is expressing therein by looking at it in its forward progression or forward order, and then taking it in the reverse order, like that. In general, Buddhist texts on valid cognition, or not really valid cognition here, logic, have 8 pivotal points of logic.
Oh yeah. Toge chikdun Geshe de kaderesana. Oh range shechangebe sosoge sheche nelu toye tandalia. Ane range shechangebe taus chishegora. Sosoge sheche nezu diabu to tasona. Ane shenlia ba kandre sheche shegore she. Niene shen chisu zebe taus ni shegora.
These are arranged in sort of 2 groups. One is to create their an understanding in your own mind, and then the other group is to how to then create an understanding in others' minds.
Oh yeah, ranga shejenge be tabdel karishe gorusna. Musum yandada, musum tarna, cheba yandada, cheba tarna se shishegora.
For your own mind then is correct, direct perceivers and then counterfeit maybe, or I think here false direct perceivers or counterfeit direct perceivers, and then there's correct inferential cognizers and false or counterfeit inferential cognizers.
Musum yanda arwa. Musum yanda se de karsur ngazu meki sheba nave somjing musum tranjing musum tinjing musum ronjing musum jene rejen zembe musum la soba yiji musum la soba musum tende yora. Oh tezule tene ane sosoge shisha mangbuchi munjur mangbuchi teletene shenta bude sigora. No dichilata.
For correct direct perceivers, then we have to have them so that whatever we cognize, whether what we hear or see or smell or taste or feel, anything through our 5 senses, then they have to be based on what do you say, a correct perception. So if we're going to be helpful to others. So then that's the importance of having correct direct perceivers.
Oh yeah. That's also the musum geshe metobeton da shora. Musum geshe metobeton da to kanga. Musum geshe batazo ta da sushi da pechene. Tesole tene cheba chene ne sheba chego yora. Dilia chebas tada kusen tene o titire titi mare cheja hako to budwa. Ena doa tonsuna o pige doa pige mayore samsa sheta budwa. O tina hiko ta ko ne mambuchite motachi ke chapter o michile so moda leviore samse potu yora. Sa tada kusen tene. And ko ngusum ginga zu milye ton yo mara. Pige motor yo ton yo mara. Trading ngusum gi tora. Trading ngusum gi tyu sa ngusum gi tebe tradile hisone o motor leso michi leso sam ko tada milu ache je poto budwa. O tuzule cheba sigura. Tada kusen le tene cheso ene pa cheba che pone shetung gedele cheba chama sigura. O ti ko yu ki neto tele tene shen ko re sigura.
Then the next one is correct inferential cognizers. Here, this is for understanding things that you can't perceive through direct perceivers or cognize through direct perceivers. And for instance, so then you can be helpful to someone, being able to, if you see smoke, then you understand this fire, that you're not actually seeing the fire, but you can infer there's fire there. And also, sitting here, we might hear the sound of a car pulling into the parking lot, and so then we can say, oh, there's a car pulling up into the parking lot. We're not actually perceiving the car, but we are actually having a direct perception of the sound of the car. So based on this direct perception, then we are able to infer that there is a car there.
도와tun기네 피게 매 미카제 메땅기요나 콘속 맹문숨도 떠그라 맹문숨도 통되요라 단 내대는 다른 분이 봤다르데 피게 매요래 삼으라고 고차기요나 메트로간도고 삼비나 고차고고나 어디 피게도나 메라 그래 삼제 루요나 또어디 무슨도 통하라 피게 매매는 더 용금 하라 또어디 여산 또 또어디 무슨 게 통하라 무슨 통하라 또 무슨 게 통해서 아다 도와여서 그 매여래 삼네 그 매여버데 자자 자탄 받고 따다 튀요래 피겐도는 걸 매라도 그래 피게 매문에 요라 밀로하래 다이나 그 또버데 나와는 신다다 말을 주시래 나와를 주대요라 나와데 따다 대요 말을 그 피게 매치주 전부 요다 중중요다 간데요 말을 고나섬리 차르대요 말이지 나와를 주거든 이나 그 주의를 신유를 삼루타에 던다들 투요 말아 삼루타에 던다들 투요 말아 낭주들 그 투대요래 자고 이나한테 참마샤고 그래서 그래
For example, when if we're on the near, well, if we see on a far mountain smoke, okay, then that smoke, then the people, there's a fire there, and there are people nearby that fire then that are actually having a direct perception of that fire. For us, we're having a direct perception of the smoke. Then we can infer from that smoke that there's fire there. Now, in inference then, inferential cognizer is not wrong with regards to the presence of fire there. But it is wrong with respect to how that fire appears to our mind. Okay, we can think it might be a huge bonfire, or maybe a small, it might be in fact a small, very smoky fire. There's no, so we have that kind of error just in how it appears to us, but we're actually having a direct perception we're actually able to infer that there's a fire there, correctly infer. And then, so if we have these kinds of correct inference, then we could, walk over there and either make some tea or get warm or whatever it is that we might need.
Oh yeah, what do you do? Kansuripana. Tachujin Midaba Indi, Cheba in Bishop Sigua. Oh, da Keji Gurachi, you didn't have to do your mother. Maranzo, social semda, social soda, to the Keji Gurachi, everything has a musum to do your mother. Oh, musum to do your mother. Diana, Daddy, Kudan Kengi, Cheba. Da could you say, oh, Daddy. Keji Jure Medavare Sigara, Musum de Toyo Marde, Medavare Caresna, couldn't king Chevere to us, couldn't king Chigi Yongo Yara. Oh, couldn't king Cheva de Hako Masona, couldn't king Cheva Magona, Tanda Hamagona, and it cannot tell us, na Yorvanga, na Chiche, na Yevchiche, any Mitilia, Takitua, Tanda not to get away, Tata your mother. Ramason, Dachik Shure, Tatason, Kisson, the Hagodoa. Couldn't can let any give at the try to give at the Hagodoa. Musum Toswa. King Musum get to know that. Try the couldn't can let any kigadoa, couldn't can the man and kigman do us. Couldn't can let any kick with the covenant under the Yanshin under the Yonko Yora. Tiendeco, Keji Medaba Rese, Caresne. And they couldn't can let any Chevarovas. Couldn't let any Cheva and they couldn't let any Kevarovas. Musum la Shichen and Musum with Toyag, which is Shichen, and they tell it and Musum Gimadonve Shijate, Cheso Pak Pogo Yora. So the Musum de Keshishu at Ambotelia. Musum get Tony, Musum get Trube Shichi Shison, and a Cheso Pak Chibati Kekuyora. What do you do? Rangi Shazang Ebalum, Musum, Shisune, Tindaji Shison, Musum Matoge Mabusto, Racheba. Musum da Cheba Nebuti, Rangi Shazang Tabre.
We have a syllogism that the subject sound is impermanent because of being a product of causes and conditions. Now, causes and conditions here are, well, we don't, like for sound, for instance, sound in fact is changing constantly from one moment to the next, but it's not something that we directly can perceive. And so then, in order to produce an understanding, then we have to rely upon inference, but the inference itself has to rely upon a direct perception. And so, in this case, then, if there's a person who doesn't understand that it's impermanent, then you can create that understanding by saying, look, if I take a drumstick and beat on this drum, okay, this is going to be, it's going to create a sound, and the sound is going to is going to be changing from one moment to the next as it then disappears. So then just the direct perception of the sound coming from that drum, okay, then based on that, then we can infer this impermanence of the well, you can see that sound is being created by various causes and conditions, the beating of the drum, and then so then based on that, then one can understand that how sound is impermanent.
뭐야, 다티나 신고 뭐부간 그 미다 같은 데 좀주라. 소소 선부chen 대버데. 나라서 선부chen 고 대버데. 미다 과인데서 깨지긴 줄게 요래서. 깨질 때는 선부치 대기 요래서 끼기 요래서 거라. 미다 과인데서 거라. 아니 교단 깨는 때는 제고 배쳤어. 나게 소소 소부 차단도 사주면은 좋아. 치 사주면은 그 좋아. 대소를 때는 고 선부치 대기 요라. 대소 매나 나게 지만드는 시도라. 칼라마선이 시도라. 롱망원의 시도라. 실롱도 야부지면은 가서 소토고 말아. 근데 그 나라 선부치 대가 주지. 깨지 건집에다 와인데 치다 나게 좋아. 속은 나게 차시 대술을 때는 깨베 칠스거라. 제베 칠스. 어떤 내신 뒤에 탐집니다 와서 되는 스톱이어라. 무슨 그 투에실 희소 아니 무슨 그 도움에도 왜 타외겠지만 기지르는 좋아지고 뭐도고라 시도고도 상무송도 제발 때는 랑게 셰자 차와도 간가 또 도고라 랑게 셰자 네베 탑디 요나면 무슨다 제만이 부터래 송고라 야
Then, for instance, we can understand that we're staying alive. What do you say? We're a living organism because if we take that as the subject, then is momentarily changing from. It's changing from one moment to the next because it's dependent upon various causes and conditions. So this we can't what do you say, survive from one moment to the next without dependence upon all these causes and conditions, like if we just think about, what do you say, earth, the earth, the four elements, earth, fire, water, and what do you say, wind. These, wind energy. These four then, right? We can see. We can have a direct perception that based upon these, then we are staying alive, and therefore we're what do you say? Our life is impermanent and momentary, changing from one moment to the next. Then. What do you say? Non-static is maybe another way of looking at it, and the same meaning. So then we can create. So these, in this way, then you can understand how we're creating our understanding through correct inferential cognizers and correct direct perceivers. Then we understand how we're creating our own knowledge or our own understanding.
That's right. Oh yeah. Oh, that karishe gorosana. Musum yanda da, sheba yanda nibude, rangi shesha ngebe, rangi gi shesha ngebe tabrese. Tindriswa. Tang musum tarna. Te musum tarna sna karungom bunzimba rabutara. Jushin do anzimba tabuda. Tinde sheba 나올 추바 마부여라. 오 대주 강강 무슨 다나라. 대주 제수 다나 에네 랑게 셰자데 약부체 친지만로바 또 두고 말해서 로레스 거라. 랑게 셰장에 뱅게게레스. 랑게 셰자 지다와신도 게 두고 말해. 무슨 다나게 제수 장주요 말해. 무슨 양다게 제수 장고레스 거라. 다 제바 다나스 다나 거나. 교생 다나 거네. 그러나 교생 다나 거네. 줍제 다나 근데 줍고 되네. 그 노라로와 나라서 마음부 노르게로와 따르 미지기 베나 소소 마가베 미지요나 미지 포조데 깨져라 셰체 코야보레스 라비요나에 베나 조조 미테체 조조 마가지 군이 깨셔자 Thabkhe Tuchalapson, Samsa, Tangra, Kotanara, Chisenko Yabula, Chisenkarla Hakumara, or Tinde Jusenko Konga Tuchala, that Tuchala or Samla, Tatanara, Eco Tuchala, the Tutumara, Norava, or Tindemara, Kusen Yanda, no net attendant to this in the dark on the Ticora. So Tatana Letene, Sebachan, Tana Sebachan, Norgere, Rangashan Ebe Tamare, Rangashan Ebalia, Nora, Geshe Chigrese, Musum Yanda, Musum Tana, Chiba Yanda, Chibatana, Shibuti, Rangashan Ebe Tabla to Tunisumbre. One is in the Yandani, the Rangashan Ebe Tabrimado, Tanani, the Rangashan Ebe Geshe Remado, Tamare. You know, Rangashan Ebe Yandani, Chestangurda, non Yoti Tana Quitin, Norgere, Hakoyat and Dalinyam Shagore City.
So we can understand then that for us to, have a definite knowledge about something, then we have to depend upon correct cognizers and, correct inferential cognizers and correct direct perceivers. If we then take a look at what a false or counterfeit inferential cognizer would be, and a false or counterfeit direct perceiver would be, that there's many examples for direct perceivers. For instance, in the winter you can see the snow on the far mountain ridge makes the mountain the snow actually appears blue, and so that's snow is not blue, but we can perceive that. This is a false direct perception. Then there's also false inferential cognition. That takes place when, for instance, if somebody's, if you see in the distance somebody, or say Joshua is watching somebody in the distance talking to another person, and then infers that that person is saying something bad about him, then that's taking it's based on an incorrect sign. We say that inference is based on signs and reasons. So this would be like an incorrect sign, and then making the inferring then that people are saying something bad about him, and they could very easily be saying something good. So it's through these two of false inferential cognizers and false direct perceivers that we're not understanding the object. We're not coming to a definite knowledge of what it is that we're cognizing. And so then usually these four are lumped together as the way that we come to form certain knowledge about phenomena. But really, I mean, certain knowledge then is formed by having a correct inferential cognizer or a correct direct perceiver.
No, yeah, that don't go. Centric Bachini Nandarwa, Thabkhe Chen Karchuk, Musum the Chebal ten Tachigara, Musum Kartukudo, Teletan, Majum Bechepo, Yan Tich and the Karchu, Musum the Ches Babalatan, Rangico, Chiri Yargeta, the Shinaka Shingiora. Oh, Taganation now do when Mida Dunga Don Tamito Kanga, Musum the Cheba Chis trying to quote the Kanga Yongora. Naranzo Lamgal Dro Chaco, Kalase, Pandro, Childro, Sosutanda, True Kanga, Mabse Kanga, Musum the Cheba Chis trying to Chevra. Tana Kalajico and Soku Yuna, Musum Yabuchi Chene, Mekabando, Nujekabando, Sakabando, Tache, the Yabuchi Tada Chevramado. Sadi Norge Chinirisam, Mambuchabsha and Rachetine, Mangtan Mandi, Yungtan Mandira, and the Kanga, Musungi Chestan, or did in this court, teach and te Yungurisam, Chebach and the Kotine, Kalayabusaira. Timene, Musum the Chebaya, which Manorich Magena, Charagumare, Kalaragumare, Satugumare, Chakandesco, Gurisam, Kohaku Mare, what in the co, Lava Karachine, given Debet, the Dentuvieta, Menduva say. Langdor Sira, Langja Ran Koya Karina Langkoya, Dorje de Ran Meguga Karina Timebase. This Sangmade, Musum de Chebalet and Langdor Sigora. So Samlutanche, Musum teacher, and Manoricena, Lega Norgumaria Buchigra. Lega Habu Contra say, Shendaji Jenny, Habu Chena, Lega Norgade, Musum nor Ta, nor Chusentana, Chusentana, Taujutana Chene, Lega Norgiora. Sako. Pombuchembulega Manora Nora Kagatine Yongora. Angaranzo Chaco at the Meeching Lega Chunju to Yena Tene Yongora. Or Tindico Jigdengi Mendoba said Doba to be Samade. Send the Sembe Sama. Or the Musum de Chebalitan Yongora. The Norson and the Norgiora, no Dumambuching Domikaji. Did the Sam Tendemada Tatanaco, Chusetanaco, Tatichi Yongursa, and Norgiora. So they give Lantolan Jube. Sosu Shinyak, Lando Shinyak, Jusode, Musum de Chevani, Chesutane, the Manora Chune, Manora Yungres, the Sheriora. Oh, yeah, this.
Scientists then, how, when they conduct their studies, they have to depend upon inferential cognizers and direct perceivers. And otherwise, they can't understand what it is that they're trying to analyze. In the same way, then, we as Buddhists then depend upon these to understand topics like impermanence and selflessness and so forth. And but in fact, in whatever we do, we really have to depend upon inference, direct cognition and inferential cognition. These two together, then if we, for instance, if we're making a meal, then we know what it is that we can determine what it is that we need to put into the food and how to make the food and so forth. And then it's through, and then there's also the possibility, and then also when we're making food, we might, instead of putting salt in the food, then we might put sugar. It looks similar, or we, might put too much salt and not enough salt, and so then there's mistakes a lot of mistakes we're constantly making too. This all depends upon direct cognition and what do you say? Direct perception and inferential cognition. So basically, whatever inference and perception then are the way that we come to understand what it is that has to be adopted and what it is that has to be discarded. They're the basis of our the basis of our knowing things and our knowledge.
Yes, right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
That was some.
maybe What it is that we want to do and what it is that we want to avoid is another way of saying that.
Yeah. Oda musum yanda tana cheba yanda tana shibudi rangi shechange betabri tindi so. Oh, da rangi shechange sarade mi shandala paane labkona rangi ngebe shecha desgora netantiro nerude ne shen chesun zimbe tabdi karesna rangi shen ya rangi musum paate cheba da paate cheke yomara atendo da kaneke shegura kaneke shegura kaneke sheduzani touching zingi kologdo yona tatakbare kyawangasi yomare samsako touching zebe yona Tira touching zingi logdo den dogbe shedo ko tezum kesugora. Tira o늘 근데 이나서 tezum kesugora. 근데 치르바서 자디 딱바래 남갈 템바레시고라. 남가 땅바 딱바래. 그래서 자디 남가 내용고래 해서. 남가 대대거래서. 근데 남가 대대디 수야 요는 요에 요래시기도 하고 저시기도 대대래. 다 남가 요래. 난저 되잖아. 저는 그 중을에서 되게 수용주래. 요에 요래서. 다 요래 뒤수 용주거시고라. 남걸 그냥 따버려시고라. 전 남바스는 따따고 말을 메타버려시고라. 뒤도 가서래. 다치지 마셔다. 다고 타칭지 요라 따따버려 남걸 때되어 되요 그런데 수세용 거래. 수세용 거래 삼겨라. 근데 다치지야세. 마셔버다. 규단 깽게 제바 마루에서라 규단 깽게 제메 그 버타서라 딱바인 베셔 고대 여여바인 베셔서 규단 깽게 제메 그 아니 라바다고 말아 칸에 계시고 말아 카 갖고 좀 맞으면 다들 태운 거라 된디고 정상 마시때 그 도스도스 템퍼레이처로 가이나 깨디치 다시도 남건 돈 가스간 돈에 랩데슨 두고요라 다도스 등산들도 심도요라 어딘데서 거기 남갈 때인데샤 딱반 인삼겨라 어디 다 진생길로도 도베셔도 아니 다데 마제버타 시고라 주단 경기 제바 많이 버타 딱반이 베체서라 딱반이는 기로 매나니 나이 동구민도 와시고라 나이 다데 딱바시 때 남갈 여유이나 근데 동구 말아 왔어요 동구 연안이 교단 경기 제버로 안에 그 메다버려 와시고라 이제 그 태좀사한테 간데 나서 태좀사는 되게 어래 타와세게 대인의 된데렌도라 대인의 된데렌도라 대탄도라 되는 거 간데 나서 태좀 기려라 타칭진된 돈에 태좀 기해 된다 텐주도 거고 요라 디 내내 셴치서 좀 베탑지라 디나데야
So we have the understanding, creating our own understanding of phenomena through direct cognition and inferential cognition. Then we're presented with how do we then communicate that to others. We can't just sort of take our understanding and then somehow, what do you say? Put it, place it into, transfer it into somebody. It needs some method of communication, and so then we have what are known as correct refutations. It also means correct consequential, correct consequences. It's the same. They're synonyms here. Then the way that works is, well, for instance, non-Buddhists have this belief that there are some non-Buddhist philosophers then that present that sound is permanent, that they feel that sound is somehow always present in space, and just by doing something like clapping your hands, then sound is manifesting. It's sort of like latent there, and then it manifests. And so then basically the syllogism is that sound is permanent because sound is not a product because of being permanent. So that's the syllogism. But then for a consequence, then you have to say, you're communicating with the other person and saying, well, wait a sec. What if I clap my hands together? Isn't that causes and conditions coming together and creating the sound? And what if I take a drumstick and beat on the drum? Isn't that causes and conditions? So then creating the sound of the drum, and so then the person who's holding this idea that sound is permanent then has to go, oh, wait, there are different causes and conditions that are coming together. Wait a sec. So what you're trying to do is to create some kind of a doubt or hesitation in the person, and then based on that, creating them, lead them. It's really the translation for what you're trying to do is to lead others. How do you lead others towards a correct understanding, a correct perception of or correct knowledge, I guess we're saying, of phenomena. So then this is the use of consequences.
Oh yeah. Tandanga razo mile chitanko Geshe Yeshe ko tambu pe kuni pe madu chambu de juya na ya. Ene Geshe Yeshe chi de parujil ko do se sem jundu ya yorwa. Tambu pe chabu shida yo de chima o ta de kande chawa na sam jundu do. Tesum sadro tambu ko te malu de me sam jo se. Chima chi she te ni chi ma chi she ta kar chawa na sam ko tesum sadro. O di re ta tawa se de tira. Tinde ne kyon te rendo tinde re da tinde re do aside ko bo sam ko te kande na sam tesum sadro. O di tawa ko ne tin ko ba de kar sam tesum sawa dire. Ta jingjin jo lo dong do ba dire. Ta jingji ti sam trouble jingji jora. Ta jingji jo lo dong do ba. Ta ba yin sam ma do ko ina karina samge omara tindo badira da tesum kesuna tesum doye tondale ni tumayanda set kogora no tenko to tesum sasuna ke kan cheba yene midaba yin gurwa se kyudan kengi söbe yene kyudan kengi chigi chide ne ko gyura cheji ha chigi cheura kan chena midaba chabgu dwas penna namge lo na shere was namga na lo na shi traya gyujingi chegu dwa nga tongku chi khake kuje che u tangku dwas de te midaba chobgyora ko tumayanda se tire kan chena midaba yin bechab penna namge lo shi traya chesos tonda dade midaba re cheba yimbe chirsigora pena namge loshin gyujing cheba yina midaba yin goride namge loshin sigora ti tunga yanda so ta yanda tuji gi ta midaba tuji gi ta yanda de tunga ta midaba tuji gi ta yanda de ko khane ke shen pa lagu yora tele tunga yanda asire taksi yanda asire yeah.
So then what you're trying to do with a person who has this a view, or some kind of a wrong, it's a wrong view based on being extreme. Extremism, I think, is the way to translate that. Then you have so what you're trying to do is through saying, well, if you think it that way, then what about this? And then isn't this true? And then isn't that? And you keep on drawing consequences of that particular perspective that the person is holding. That they have a resistance. Okay, they say, no, I know it. It's exactly that way. There's a lot of resistance, but you're gradually breaking down the resistance, and then they're starting to go, oh wait, maybe, because there are causes and conditions that it isn't permanent. And when you're trying to like open them up to through inducing some kind of doubt or hesitation, and so then once they have that hesitation or doubt, then you state to them what is the next what we call the final of these 8 pivotal points, which is proof statements. You have to state a proof statement that this is the sound is what do you say? Whatever is a product is necessarily whatever is a product is necessary and permanent, like a flash of lightning. Okay, for instance, like a flash of lightning. So then, when you state these proof statements, then you can lead the person towards like the correct syllogism, which would be that sound is impermanent because of being a product.
That's right. Oh yeah. Oh, that. Nene shen chesu zimbe tabdela. Shendaga Julia ko ta chingzing di logdo chi yu na. Ten dogwe chido ne tawa yanda, tenju yanda ko ne ko ta chingzing di logdo den dog chu kure esi go ra. Ta chingzing logdo den do ne ko tesum keso na. Cha medawa yanda, dagwa yanda samso na. Medawa rewa se go ra. Medawa re se gyudan jengi chewa ra. Gyudan jengi chewa ne medawa yin go ra. Namge lo na she rewa se. Labgi yo ra. Chungwa yanda di go yo ra. Deshdo de ngone kechi yorku kure kares gyudan kendi yondu de ko teli yorku shikki yore sam. O da tradi medawa re sha sam. Seme toya da ko toya di yungu wara. Di ngene shen chesu se betabdela. Tenju yanda da chungwa yanda nitira. Da tenju tana da chungwa tana nibude chesu chana. Ane tachin zingi lodon do togu mare. Da tana chungwa yanda magu biche chungwa tana ji chungwa chenyi mesanga ji kweba yena. Baru bu tesum do ne chama ke togu mare se. Dil chesu changju yo mare. Tenju kune tenju yanda ko kure. Chungwa kune chungwa yanda ko kure se. Tishi gore, tishi tilia. Nyene shen chesu zimbe tabsi kure.
These then, in summary, then you're trying to, you have a person who's holding, I think, what do you say, holding to an extreme, okay, and so then if you apply consequences, then you can gradually break down their resistance, and then creating them some doubt, and then once they have this kind of doubt, then you can state a proof statement that whatever, for instance, whatever is a product is impermanent, like a flash of lightning. Then what you're doing is then creating in them you're helping them to what do you say, have a correct understanding of I think helping them to have some kind of a definite knowledge of some phenomena, like impermanence in this case. So then, when you're doing this, then you don't want to have like a false or a counterfeit refutation or consequence where you state, where it's not going to lead the person to have some form of doubt. And then if you led somebody to have some kind of doubt and then you state some kind of false proof statement, then that's not going to help them have any kind of certainty about what the phenomena is. So that's the so you have to depend upon correct refutations and correct proof statements.
No, yeah. Oh, that don't go so good. How quiet on that? Me pajo deliatine. Got that Kuyana, Shempache Kuyana, and then I connect Shagura, and then touching Zinki Lodon Doya Shedaria, and then connect Geshe, touching Zinki Lodon Dochu. And then Tesum Jesuna, Tesum Doya Tandalia, Dada Kusankone. Tondangaran to Millie Geshe to Tare, Geshe Abuja Shaguna, Tambunel, touching Zinki Lodon Dona, and did in the Mare, Secotilia. Gönde Shagura, did in the Gönde. Baruja Kokandri na some Tesum Sagra. Sasno, that did in the Kusendi Shana, and the Kuala Tiresha some grua. There's another military shed touching Zingi Lodo, you know, Tambune, Kusenko Mara, till a Gönde. Can teach anything to Madoatini, Tiduatin, Tireda, Tindeslim Baruja Tesum Tigra. Take care on a tati, Imbe Kusendi Shagra, Jelia, Tira, Imbe Kusendi in the Baruja Musum La Tudenko. Kelengora, the Resha some Gura, or Tindation Shagures, or so Nesaret on that Milishakuna, Tambukongo Tabushidaduna, Darkuni, Society in Batuku, Mare, Pajuti in Kerandi Kund, what teaching, Tireslavna, Ekotos Kandina Samgra. This has not done as yet the rest in Becus and Tindis, Shana Nico Hako Chitugura. Oh, this is
So what this is saying is that if you're going to help somebody, lead somebody towards a correct understanding of a phenomena, then you have to first, it's talking about correct refutations or correct consequences. And correct proofs that through the consequences, then you're leading them towards having some doubt, and then once you have some doubt, then you're stating a correct proof statement, and if we just look at it in common conversation, that when somebody is strongly holding a certain view, a very extreme view, then what you're trying to do is to say, well, instead of saying, oh, you're completely wrong or whatever, you're trying to say, well, if you think like that, then isn't this true? Or if you think like that, isn't this true? Then you're trying to sort of lead them towards having a little doubt about their position, and then you're stating reasons, correct reasons that yeah. So what you're communicating what your knowledge is, right? Through correct reasons. You're giving them correct reasons to you're communicating your what the word is, your certainty about whatever it is that you understand. You're You're communicating that through correct reasons.
More than that,
yeah.
Choose sounds like.
No, that.
Oh yeah, that
That sounds like.